Let's go, people. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Time to start the stream. One love to the Twitch gang. Hope everyone's doing well mentally, physically, spiritually, all those illy things. One love to the Twitch gang. Make sure you're following and subscribing. Let's have a good live stream. It's the first one of the day, man. There's hella content, man. But enough talking. Let's get into this.
Because you always use that active when defending.
I think it's like
People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Terrible green screen once again. One day this will all be patterned, people, but for now we're gonna have to put up with this atrocious excuse of a green screen. Obviously the content is all that matters, people. Obviously, first things first, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. The very fact of us making it to another day is one we all, myself included, take for granted, people. Again, it's the halfway point of the week, so I hope everyone's doing well and safe, progressively moving that much closer to their goals, hopes, ambitions, dreams, aspirations, all of that. You can't do any of that stuff without health. So as usual, I hope you and your loved ones have good health and things like that. And like I said, man, let's just move a bit more closer to our dreams than we was yesterday. Now, obviously, people, shameless plug o'clock. Again, there's hella content to come from me today in relation to Twitch. This is the first of two live streams, in the sense of at 5:10, I'm gonna have my guy Dave. You know his thing already. He does Football Manager content. He's a Wolves fan. It's Arsenal Wolves tomorrow. So I'd like to obviously pick his brains from a Wolves perspective of what to expect, people. So yeah, I've put the links in there. You know, the links to, well, the link, not the Twitch links. Go and set your reminders. In relation to YouTube content, we've got Aston Villa versus Leeds United. Appreciate everyone who was at my live watch along yesterday on Twitch. YouTube fans are getting jealous, so we'll give them one in it. So Aston Villa versus Leeds, that's 7:30, I believe, because it's an 8 p.m. kickoff, half an hour before. And almost straight after this, 11:30, I go live again, where we centre around Arsenal. I think Mikel Arteta's had his press conference. Granit Xhaka to Roma, rumours are back, etc., etc. Again, people, any Arsenal comments, any football comments in general, you know, any questions, again, Twitch gang, don't tell YouTube, but I prefer you lot, because you lot, first and foremost, it's more inclusive. You lot behave yourself more. Weirdos are starting to come out of the woodworks, but you behave yourselves and whatnot. Now, obviously, people, we'll talk about the Premier League. We can talk about Man United's draw against Burnley. Obviously, Everton versus Newcastle, plenty of talking points. I didn't watch it. I only saw the goal, but, you know, West Ham defeated Watford, which, again, you know, is things are hotting up all over the table. Now, forgive me, but there's very few things more important than football. Racism, discrimination, you know, all these things, you know, animal cruelty, all of these things are relevant. Now, disclaimer, you know, we're going to talk about Chris Kirkland. Disclaimer, two truths can live in the same realm. You can sympathize with the brutalization of animals. Obviously, I'm not a massive animal lover. You won't see me doing the PETA thing and things like that. Equally, that doesn't mean I'm going to be like Zuma, start smashing up cats and dogs and doing fuckery, people. It's quite evil to do things like that, especially to animals who, you know, to humans as well. My point being, you know, you can go through all through history. There is more sympathy for animals than there are for you know, speaking for myself, for anything that happens to black folk, really and truly. A dog could get shot in the street, and that is going to make more headlines than a human getting shot. So that tells me several things. That tells me either people are desensitized to black trauma or black people dying and things, because if a black guy gets shot in America, it's not going to move the world anymore, is it? If a dog gets shot, it's going to move the world. And again, Zuma deserves all the criticism he faces, but I'm seeing UFC fighters offer to fight him. Everybody condemning him, rightly so. The energy, again, two truths can live in the same realm. The energy, if there was the same energy for racism, there's an issue. There would be no issue. You know, it's this shows me that people are desensitized. This tells me people don't look at black folk from a human point of view. An animal is more humanized than whatever. Chris Kirkland, damn right ignorance. How he can be so brazen and puff out his chest, and it speaks a lot of the privilege. How he can puff out his chest and say that what happened there is bigger than racism. He's chatting shit, pardon my language, he's chatting shit. And what annoys me is people are allowed on platforms to talk nonsense, Mr. Walker not shutting up his nonsense, and they're just going to reinforce this. The damn right ignorance, the damn right privilege to, you know, I'm not saying you can't face discrimination, but for you to puff out your chest and say that, that tells me you don't understand what's going on. You've never lived it. You're talking nonsense. And again, people see animals as more human than black folk. You know, people have more compassion for animals. It's absolutely atrocious how this individual, you know, I thought he was a shit goalie, but he's got even shitter thoughts of mind. You know, who knows? Maybe Henri twining him up, twisted those brain cells and affected his thinking process. You know, it's absolutely appalling, but it's what we know. This country's got a problem with drinking culture. This country does double standards, and this country cares more about animals than it does about some of its citizens, really and truly. Big national TV, but can you expect that? You know, black folk make up this percentage of England, and my reality is shaped by London. This is why you're allowed ignorance like this. Again, when you don't own the media, when you don't have significant roles in the media, you can't control the narrative or ensure that the narrative is shared fairly, really and truly. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it makes football irrelevant, man. Again, you lot can see for what it's worth yourselves, innit? Let me not talk for a second, people. You lot make what you want.
Yes, I know, look, at the minute, everywhere they go now, everywhere he goes, he's going to be targeted, and rightly so as well, because he deserves everything he's going to get. You know, I have to, obviously, I'm a big advocate for mental health, and obviously need to get what I say, because he's trying to test virtue, but he's brought it all on himself by a sickening video. And as I said, I'm still in disbelief that West Ham played him last night. I thought that was disgraceful. But again, the FA, for me, if it was a racism case, the FA have stepped in, banned players 6-10 games, fighting 6-10 games. This is worse, if anything. What is the difference? This is against a defenceless animal that cannot defend himself. So why the FA have not stepped in to ban him for this as well is beyond disbelief.
It'll be really interesting to see how things develop in the coming days.
Look at the fuckery.
Chris, I don't know if you saw this video as well. The two of your former team.
So how he can puff out his chest, you know, how he can puff out his chest and say that's worse than racism. How? Again, disclaimer for those that try and make, you're condoning the abuse of animals. How? Whether we want to talk about blatant racism, systemic racism, you know, prejudice, bias. How? You said you're an advocate for mental health. Look at Marcus Rashford, how he's abused for looking after players. I mean, looking after families and things like that. You're talking nonsense. Of course, anyone's going to be moved by this animal. How can a man say it's worse? That tells me once again, man are desensitized to black trauma. Man are desensitized to a lot of these things, to anything, you know. And again, they've more humanized an animal. How he can say it's worse? It comes from a place of inaccurate privilege. How you can have the privilege to talk on something you ain't experienced? You're talking nonsense, really and truly. How can you say it's worse? And you don't know what you're talking about, because what the fuck has the FA done in relation to racism? What? Kumbaya fancy videos where you'll get, you know, I might have a white friend, an Asian friend, a man, a woman, a gay man, a straight man, and we all sit in a room, say kumbaya, we all go, say no to racism. What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Seriously, what's going on? The very fact that people can come out and say these things and the bullshit's not going to be checked. What's going on? Of course, these men live in a box, bro, because they have privilege. He has never had to experience things like this. That's why he's allowed to have a privilege. That's why he can come out. What are you talking about, the FA? Fucking kneeling on the floor, fucking doing no, say no to racism. This is more. Fucking putting out, sitting on that. What the hell? What the hell is that going to do? Come on, man. Come on. These lot will deny racism and deny things blatantly, but we'll do all of this for fucking cat. Pardon my French. Again, disclaimer before RSPCA and people get on at me. I don't hit cats. I don't advocate animal cruelty, but it leaves you with a sour taste in your mouth because man see these things as more human. Again, we know, you know, cats and dogs, they're animals. People have them and stuff. You see them as more friendly than a black person. It's crazy. Bro, the very fact that the BBC got, if it wasn't him, it's going to be some other dickhead. If it's not him, it's Piers Morgan, it's some other prick that says things like this, really and truly. And it shows ignorance. He might be from a different reality, but he shows no empathetic skills, no sympathy, no critical thinking. It's just a mare from him, you know, Chris Kirkland. Just terrible from you. The very fact that this went unchecked is chilling because this allows people to reinforce the bullshit. And if a man can come out and say things like this, what's going on? And the same people that are going out there and saying, and that are not really letting up on this animal thing, They will tell you, stop with the racism chat, stop with the this chat, stop with the that chat. You know, this is the hill manner people. There's certain clubs that have had racist captains, you know, stood behind racist strikers. You know, people have hit women. People have done bare fuckery. You know, there's people still living within football that are domestic abusers, you know, and do mad fuckery like that. But this is where we draw the line on certain club legends where, you know, man are getting kicked off trains. And I'm not trying to score one-upmanship. Every club does this, really and truly. This is where we're going to. Man's a dog's best friend. You've never heard black man and woman someone's best friend. This is why it happens. And it's these sort of things. It's crazy. And these are the same individuals that will tell you we don't see color and all these and all this bullshit. Crazy. It's very chilling that a man can come out and if a man can say this in public, what does he feel about in private? What's his opinions? These are the men that say, oh, you should stop the Black Lives Matter protests. We shouldn't talk about racism. Let's not give them a fight. The energy is very different. The energy being given to Zuma is very different. It's the same energy, in my opinion, that rightly or wrongly saw certain YouTubers did the mad thing, and then certain people are getting at an owner of another channel. It's more energy for certain individuals. It's crazy, man. Exactly. If a man says that whole I don't see color bullshit, I'm sure in primary school it makes sense, and in theory it's not necessarily wrong. But if I sit here and I'm in a room with an Irishman, a black man, an Asian man, you know, let's just say to make it even more diverse, an Indian and a Pakistani who, you know, both brown, but you get it. You're telling me that you don't see us. You don't see, you know, you can't tell an Asian man, a black man or whatever, you don't see their color because you're eradicating their experiences. I don't have the privilege of being colorblind. I have to always be aware of who I am. If I step into certain places, if I walk down the street, whether I've got a hood or a suit on, if I walk around the shop, even little things, people, you know, I don't know about anyone else, but when I use, it's a habit of mine. When I use self-checkout at Tesco's and shit, you know, I make sure I get a receipt. I don't want no one telling me nothing, even if it's for 50p. No one telling me nothing. So what are these people on about? Bro, Carragher can spit at women. And I'm not saying people can't learn from their mistakes. There's some things you shouldn't, you know. There's some things you shouldn't. But, you know, Giggs can still have a career in football. You know, that Good Willie brother had a career in football. You know, I know he's been for Rafe Rovers, he's been whatever, but he did that at 21. He's like 30. He's still been about. You know, Greenwood can still sadly have a career in football. You know, somebody tried to give Adam Johnson a contract after his mad thing. And there's many other incidences of people just moving mad and they can still have careers in football. And this football, we spoke about this. Football is how man, you know, hide behind these things. But we're gonna draw the line at a cat being kicked. And I'm again, for those that want to be idiots, two truths can live in the same realm. It's not either or. You know, it's not either or. We condemn animal violence and hitting up animals and things like that. But this it is what it is. They're not even hiding it. They're not hiding it. This guy has never had to be from a certain reality. He's never had to face things. And the very fact that you're allowed this, and people like the enablers are the worst. Nobody corrected that bullshit. You know, nobody corrected that. It's the same language that saw people downright deny Raheem Sterling was racially abused in this country. And then people are praised, you know, for coming out and saying, oh, yeah, he was. Respectfully, Gary Neville has to catch a stray here because he was giving interviews before it became cool to say Raheem Sterling is being racially abused, and said Raheem Sterling came to me in the England camp and said this, that, and the third. And now, you know, now people are praising people for saying racism is bad and things like that. It's crazy what the world we live in, man. You know, Joey Barton can Joey Barton can beat up his teammates, can beat up Gyal. You know, even as a manager, he's catching cases, but he can still be about. But the fucking cat is where we're going to draw the line. Respectfully to this cat. Come on. He did nothing. But then Gary Neville said racism is bad and he was hailed as this white savior. You know, this is the craziness about it. This is it. People are so quick to tell you what's not racism, you know, but them and they are not letting up on Zuma. Zuma can't breathe. He can't go shop, you know. He can't go shop. The only man hated probably more than Zuma right now is that pussy old Greenwood. And judging by the energy, boy, I wouldn't say the Greenwood thing's gone away because it can't, but I never saw this energy when speaking about racism. I never saw this energy when condemning Greenwood, but the flipping cat is where we're going to draw the line. It's brazy, man. It's absolute brazy, man. Man, this is why dogs are our best friend. They see a black man or woman, you're crossing the street or you're calling them aggressive or whatever. And obviously, if you feel like your feelings are being hurt in this live stream, you need to piss off because, again, disclaimer, we're not discussing everybody. We're not throwing everyone under the same bus. We're talking about certain people that deny blatant ignorance. And this ain't the channel for you if you want to do this offending thing and make it all about you. We cannot deny what's in front of us. Chris Kirkland, you're a twat. You're an absolute twat. Like you're an actually. This is. I can't put into words how silly this is, man. You know, I can't, man. I can't. But the dogs are humanized, man. Certain men sleep with their dogs in their yard, in their bed, kiss up the dog. The dogs and animals are humanized. You know, giving dogs real names and cats and all of these sort of things. Certain others are not. Bro, UFC dons are threatening Zuma. Didn't say they'll thump up Greenwood. Didn't say they'll thump up Giggs. Didn't say they'll thump up other YouTubers hitting up ex-wives and that. Didn't say they'll thump up former players. Didn't say they'll thump up other footballers who hitting up weaker individuals. Didn't say they'll thump up people spitting in little girls' face or little boys' faces. What's going on? What's going on? It's not making sense. It's not making sense. Absolute twatness, man. It's crazy, you know. How can somebody like, you know, show you don't know what you're talking about with racism, don't really get the mental health point you made, and just show you're an absolute twat? Man said it's worse. How? That's how. You can't even that. You make things how. The very fact for me is pretty chilling that you can say that's worse than racism because you're either saying man are animals or you're saying we're less than animals. Which one are you saying? Either way, you deserve a box in your mouth. Life would be better. Pardon my language. Life would be better if people were corrected for this or just slapped for chatting shit. Like, just, what's going on, bro? Football is one of the only industries that lets you hide bullshit, bro. There's bare man that are probably doing fuckery. There's bare man that do fuckery. People try to find excuses with racism. That's why, for me, big up you lot, white, black, whatever. You understand what we're talking about. If you don't, this stream's not for you. I don't agree with this being educating racism thing and stuff. You know, some people can be educated. I'm not the guy for that. That is exhausting. That is exhausting. Really. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Police got involved and said no media can comment on Greenwood for investigation. Otherwise, there'd be more talk. I like you, Del, so I'm just going to let that comment go, man. I ain't got time for it, man. Like, if man want to speak, they'll speak. Bro, people are not listening. You look at the medical rates. Look at the medical rates around black ladies and treatment in the NHS. Respectfully, big up the NHS. You know, there's the way they treat, especially young black women that are pregnant. You know, you look at some of the statistics, they're pretty chilling. Now, when you look at the bloody NHS, who the fuck built it? It's built on minorities. That should never be a thing. It doesn't matter if it's medical, if it's in academic, you know, in education, in medical, in sport, walking down the street, in the media. You can't escape this BS. Bro, man come out and said it's worse than racism, bro. Man come out and said it's worse than racism. Absolute joke, Tig. Absolute joke, Tig. Absolute joke, Tig. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. If you try and find common sense around, you know, there's no point trying to rationalize certain comments and things. Certain people just choose to be ignorant. And in this country, you can afford to be of a certain background and be ignorant because you never have to. You can go through life not unlearning poisonous things, you know. This will blow over and things like that. For me, it's just how you can come out and say that it makes no sense. You know, Sky Sports, BBC, all these people will have him chatting shit again and again and again. I mean, racism is okay, but animal cruelty is where we're going to bloody draw the line. Respectfully, what's going on there? No, it's not even just that. Individuals, bro. What's going to happen to that UFC don? That UFC don didn't say a damn thing. There's one female footballer, I think she plays for Watford, didn't say a damn thing on Greenwood. Got a lot to say about their cat. You know, Zuma deserves, bro, possibly even ban the guy, do what you need to do. But, you know, man are moving like he deserves to, you know, like this is the, not that it's the worst thing ever, but this is the worst thing ever, really. You would think this guy is worse than people, you know, again, it's I'm done speaking about it, man. I've already offered my sound pieces. Fuck Chris Kirkland. Fuck any racists. I don't really give a crap. Like, and a lot of people, even when I put this on YouTube, people are like, I like you, DG. When you talk about racism, bro, you don't like, man. Then you just like what I do. You don't like, man. You don't like me. You don't. Because again, before I've ever let anybody know I was an Arsenal fan or a fan of football, if I just sit in front of you like this, what do you see? A young 26-year-old black man. So what's going on? It's ridiculous, man. Fuck Chris Kirkland, man. I don't even want to know your name, bro. He thinks you're less than human. I've never seen, when it's come to things like that, I've never ever seen this Donny speak. But he's come out and said that now. So he probably got bang dropped by that fan years ago. Pussy or you, man. See, man just typed in Chris Kirkland. And look, man, can't see nothing. I can't see nothing. I've not seen a word on racism. Not that I'm saying people need to speak for the sake of speaking. I've not seen a word. I can't see a word of you ever saying anything about racism and how it's bad and that. Man, see you with the captain. This is it. Well, Australia is a different place, man. Came out of depression, exactly, to belittle things, man. He's a wallad, man. He's a pagan. He's all these things, man. To certain individuals, as people, we as black people are bottom of the barrel. We're less than bottom of the barrel, bro. You know, respectfully, you're bottom of the barrel. Even if he was to get a lot of other minorities together, you know, and races together and whatever, they'd all decide that we're at the bottom. Let's be real, like let's be real. Kind of on the home of this thing. Respectfully, racism killed the cat, bro. Crazy, man. Exactly. Suffer less pain, you know. Again, when you look at people like Serena Williams, you know, the black women, again, they don't suffer pain. They're just seen as being strong all the time. You know, there's, you know, they emasculate women as well. You look at Serena Williams and things like that. They try and make out, you know, that you're not a female. They try and defeminize you, if that's a word, you know. I would say as a black man, if you shut up, you kill yourself. I've always said from a young age, I'll always talk out. I'd rather you tell me I've got a chip on my shoulder than cost me in it, because you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. In the educational system, you know, you do not get second chances. You know, the very fact that we have to live in society, every black person in the UK and whatever, and maybe ethnic minorities, you've all been told you have to work twice as hard. You know, you should work twice as hard anyways, but you're taught to speak twice as hard, to work twice as hard just for the color of your skin, to the point where that's normalized. And that says it all. You know, so to come out and hear this is chilling. It's chilling, you know, it's very chilling. I'm sure you've had Chris Kirkland's had former teammates, you know, he might have been on the field where they've been on the result of racism, you know. So for you, especially to you, to see what's going on in the world, in society nowadays with George Floyd and things, even if you don't want to look at in this very country, for you to come out and say that shows you're out of touch, or you're just living in a bubble because you can afford to live in that bubble. He can afford to live in that bubble. You know, it doesn't, certain people can, rightly or wrongly, certain people can go through life and never have the color of their skin questioned, rightly so, you know, as it should be for all, never have prejudices. You know, if I talk a certain sort of way, I can't be that educated because I speak in slang. If I talk posh or I wouldn't say posh, in an educated sort of way, I must be one of the tokens, even to the point where, you know, I find the language around Saka and Kante in the media quite annoying, because they're seen as, you know, they kind of make out that Kante's a child for one, and it's almost like, you're a good little nigga, you're not one of the others. And I'm not pardoning my language, because racism is one thing I'll never ever want to hide from it. It's crazy, you know. Only when it comes to us do I see one person's sins, everyone has to pay for it. Even down to management, it's irrelevant. But if a black manager fucks up in the Prem, oh, that's why they don't get opportunities. Nobody holds RIP Glenn Roeder, but no one holds Glenn Roeder and Roy Hodgson to the same standards as Ferguson. If you react, you're seen as a bad guy. You know, if you react, you're seen as a bad guy. This is why I always pick the reaction thing. I don't always have, you know, there's two approaches. I'm just going to be me and you can live with it, or you can do this trying to prove that you're not something. They're going to judge you anyways. And bro, fuck going through hoops. They're going to call you aggressive anyways. Might as well show man aggression, innit? Like, they treat Kante like a youth, blood. They treat Saka like a youth. You know, the minute Saka gets some designer crepes, they're onto him. Everyone's onto him. He's seen as a good little nigga. It's that simple. You're not one of them. Simple as that. Respectfully to Saka, because he's just being who he is. That's it. That is what it's looked like. Man, can you know? This is a dickhead, bro. First things first, you're a fucking English national, yeah. You saw what happened at the Euros. You saw the abuse that Rashford, Sancho, and Saka were subjected to. So what the hell are you coming out and talking about? Seriously, Chris. But fuck you, bro. You're a twat, bro. You're actually a twat, but I got nothing else to say, man. This will blow over. There'll be a next dickhead tomorrow change shit. You know, you've got stupidity. As long as you've got people like this coming out, and there'll be someone tomorrow. You know, there'll be someone tomorrow. It's over. This is why, for me, I don't believe in this education thing. You have to want to learn. You know, I've got plenty of white friends and people that can have, you know, proper debates about racism, can see things because, and likewise with me, with things that are not necessarily affecting me, because you want to see things. You can look at realities from your own. Certain people can afford to bury their heads in the sand, you know. And this is, I have no respect for racists. I have no respect for people that deny racism. I've got no respect for fucking coons as well. We've got to talk about them. You know, there is a certain, let's be honest, there's a certain element of black people or black person that says, you know what, it's crabs in a bucket. I'm out of here. It don't affect me. There's you, man. You know who I'm talking about, innit? Let's be real. You know, fear will make man do stupid stuff, you know. Bro. Anyways, man, that's the Chris Kirkland segment, man. Anyways, I'm back. Like, bro, again, I don't want to be calling anyone specifically coons, but there's well, in fact, John Barnes has a bit of a weird way around it. David James got a weird way around it. Bro, you can't afford to slack, bro. Pogba's at a wedding and he's killed for it. Like, Pogba's told you can't pray. It's brazy. It's brazy. It's brazy. Morning, Terry. I hope you're doing well and safe, man. It's crazy, but that's just the way it is, dude. Even down to the fucking police globally, but in this country, bro, I've got a mark on my fucking face because of racism. 12 years of age, 13 years of age, thrown off my bike, asking what am I riding my bike in the summer for. Brother, allow it, man. Allow it. Still got scars on my wrist from fuckery as well. Bro, there's from going to a shop, to the medical, to the educational system, to getting paid equally, even if you're a celeb or a common person. Shut the fuck up, Chris Kirkland, man. Now that I think about this even more, this man is chatting nonsense. Like, let me not, boy, you're not ruining my day, man. You're not ruining my day. Sorry, people. You're not ruining my day with this idiot talk, man. Boy. Anyways, man, let's talk about some footy now, man. We still, you know, obviously keep your opinions and whatnot coming. It is what it is. Think Newcastle staying up after that performance. I appreciate you for loving the channel. I want them to stay up. You know, I'd love them to stay up. I'd love them to stay up, my guy. But I'm not too sure. I think they've got the team to do it. I would love them to, really. Yeah, man. Obviously, when you look at the game yesterday, boy, there's so many talking points. Joe Willett, tale of two halves, you know, got done dirty at least twice by Gomez and someone else for nutmegs. Really came on show in the second half. You know, St. Maximin, Bobby Dazzler, really and truly, you know, an amazing footballer, defo man of the match. What a finish from Trippier, what a goal that was. Obviously, it's not going to change for Dele Alli overnight, innit? It's not going to change for Dele Alli overnight. You know, he came off the bench. Van der Beek did as well. He sucked. He lost the ball in the build-up to one of the goals. Stupid skills. Couldn't play. Couldn't find a teammate. Just completely anonymous, really, Dele Alli, if I'm completely honest. Everton, you know, with Lampard losing his first game, it wasn't going to change overnight, but it was bewildering. I didn't know what they were trying to do tactically. It's just Pickford just going long balls forward. A lot of them players at Newcastle came up through the Championship. They'll deal with that. You know, I didn't understand where Dominic Calvert-Lewin's on the bench but didn't get a run out. Just didn't have any ideas, really. You know, Alan had a mare, you know, struggling to play 5-yard passes. It was just terrible. Obviously, I can't say his name, but Weghouse, I can't say his name, ran riot against United. You know, Maguire's trying his best to just do fuckery. United dropped two valuable points against Burnley, really. And, you know, West Ham, you know, it could be a, you know, even bigger case for celebration with Newcastle, because obviously West Ham defeated, pardon me, Watford a goal to nil, if I can remember correctly, courtesy of Bowen. So that's a 6-pointer, man. I just think Everton just looked meaty, man. Everton just looked meaty. That's true. They did have to come off injured, but I would have kept that. I would have kept that one in the bucket, really, man. You know, he took on Daly. That's another thing. Daly came on in the first half. You would not have known, really. You know, etc. Coming on in the 24th minute. I did think he would have saved one in the barrel for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because it did look like at a time like you're kicking it long. Richarlison's on his J's. I would have thought you go 2 up there and do a thing. I do think you'll see more of an uptake in Everton, but it's a process. It's not going to change overnight. And Everton are firmly in a relegation race. There's no way around it. You have to deal with the immediate reality. If I had to pick my teams to go down, I'll say sorry if Norwich stay up, but I still think Norwich. I think Watford are gone. And I actually think Burnley will be gone, to be fair with you. But Sean Dyche knows how to twang it out of there, really. Everton's defence is so reliant on Mina. It's brazy. I can't lie. Even he was kind of meaty yesterday. Fam, Lampard don't know what he's doing. Wait, you know what? To be fair, they doppied Brentford in the FA Cup. The league, fairy tales done, really. I felt sorry for Pickford, to be fair, and Gomez. I think there wasn't too much they could do, really. Would be seen if they get relegated. I ain't got no beef with Newcastle, man, really. How you doing, my friend? New listener, love your show. I'm from America. Appreciate that. I was curious to know, how much time do you think Turner will see when he joins the ranks? I can't imagine too much, my guy. If we're in the Europa League, then he might get them group stage games. He might get the initial rounds of the Carling Cup, depending on who we potentially play in the FA Cup them as well. But I couldn't imagine too much football, respectfully, for him. What did I miss? Nothing, Terry. Just Chris Kirkland being a prick, really. That's just it, Because what a pussy, man. Hope his wife cheats, bro. But yeah, man, obviously, today we've got Aston Villa versus Leeds, which again, I'm doing a watch along for such people. That's on YouTube. Make sure you set your reminders for such. Again, Joe Willock had a good game in the second half. First half, he was meaty, man. What United dropping points. And I know Ralph Rangnick is still chatting about players. I can't lie, just the same old from United. Silly defensive mistakes. Yeah, there was at least Varane's goal was disallowed. There might have even been another one. Just shades of the Middlesbrough game, really. I do think you're seeing a bit of what Ralph Rangnick's trying to install, but yeah, man, it looks brazy at United, really. It's 2 points dropped. Burnley's a team of stubborn. See you next Tuesdays in a positive way. They are difficult. It is a difficult game to go to away from home, really, but still, there's no excuses. I appreciate you cheering, my guy. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for highlighting my question. I will definitely subscribe now. Hey, man, thank you very much for adding to the engagement level, my guy. If you lot don't talk, it's dead, innit? And big up the Twitch gang. Results come going our way, but I'm not sure we could take advantage of it. Oh, I can't lie, Arsenal got Wolves tomorrow, and again at 10:05 p.m. I'm gonna have Dave here. He's a Wolves fan. We're gonna speak about that. But boy, Arsenal got a pattern. We ain't got a win in 2022. It is what it is. The market's closed. It is what it is. We've got 17-18 players, 17 cup finals left, in the sense of you've got 17 games to pattern. Wolves, nobody's really talking about them, but their manager's doing all right. Their manager's doing bits. They're doing bits. They've got good players, Pedence, Neves, Moutinho, all these, the Portuguese influence. Their fans are going to be right at them. And, we didn't pick up 3 points there last season, so need to pattern up. Bro, Maguire's brazy, bro. You know what it is? I'm specific. We're all wasting ref talking about Maguire. We know he's rubbed in it. Like, he does rub things. How he only got a yellow, if that's Xhaka's in Belmarsh today, really. His bail would be denied. But yeah, Wolves is a tough game. It is what it is. It's brazy. A random one. Are you with the romance of Martinelli getting the 14 shirt, or do you think we can cut the romance? I mean, I don't care what number he has, whether it's Martinelli 35, whatever he's wearing now, 11, 9, 14. I like the fact that he wants the 14 shirt, but if you just keep doing the business on the pitch, the numbers and all that takes care of itself. I would say you can't really deny Martinelli the 14 if he wants it, when, you've given Saka the 7. As much as I love Smith Rowe, he's been on the scene at this level for a year, really, and he's got the 10. Martinelli might as well grab it, innit? As an Arsenal fan, I'd rather players that relish the pressure than really just pussies, which we've had in general a lot of the time. So big up the young savages. Hyped for the Wolves game. Remember that Moutinho go against us. Villa versus Leeds should be good today. It should, but boy, DG is Michael Keane clear of Maguire. I can't lie, I'd rather Maguire over Michael Keane. I'm not going to cap. I still think Maguire is somewhat an okay centre-back, even though he shouldn't be at United. He does calamities. He's a hazard. Every week, I'm sure United, I definitely as a neutral, but I'm sure United fans, you're running out of what to say, really, about Maguire. Wolves going to be a hard game, defensively sound. If there's no creationist peak, boy. Man, all I remember that day is Pepe embarrassing Semedo and Leno and Luis mashing up the thing as usual. Boy, you're going to have to earn the right to play. When I look at Wolves, I know they've got technical ability, but we've got to win our first and second balls. They've got threats from aerial situations. You know, they're stubborn. They will fight to the last. They've got the Portuguese influence with some of their recruitment. Their manager, for me, is not really getting enough praise, man. You know, they're doing what they can and they're going about their business. And again, they're 2 points off us. We're going to focus on that a bit more at 11:30. Make sure you're over there on YouTube. But boy, you know, you've got them 2 points behind us. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. You've got Spurs as well. Spurs got, I don't even know. I think they got Southampton. I backed them to beat Southampton at home. So there's no margin for error. And again, all the talk about strikers and should we have let these guys go in Jan, bring these guys in? It's irrelevant now, isn't it? This is the squad we've got. This is what we're doing. Make it work, innit? You know, 2 goals in open play between the 2 strikers. Make it work. DG is Cedric Suarez and Jose Sá top 10 Portuguese in the Prem. I would say Suarez, but definite. You know, I would say Sá. Sorry, Suarez probably by default. You know, I don't know really. Where's Podence from? I'm sure he's actually Portuguese, but for some reason, you must have played for Olympiacos, because why do I think you've got Greek in you? I would say Cancelo, Diaz, Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo, CR7 if it's not specific. The lot's better than Cedric. Difficult with Sá, throw him in there. It's hard to think of 10 Portuguese players on top of my head. Neves, Moutinho, Semedo's better than Cedric. I think that's 9. I said 9 names. So if I thought of Neto, I think Pedro Neto went fit. Fabio Silva, I know he's not setting the world alight, but I'd rather him up front than Cedric playing right back. So I'd say him. I think that's it. Jota, hey, how could I forget big boy Jota? Jota, Trincao, yeah, bro, man's not top 10. Cedric Suarez ain't top 10. I'd give Sá because the goalie, give some credit to the goalies, but nah, man, no way Cedric Suarez top 10. You know, saying that way, I don't know. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. But I'm not probably the right person to ask. As much as I try to remain neutral, I don't rate Cedric Suarez. I said the lot as well. The lot's better as a right back than him anyway. So that one there, if anyone, you've taken his place. You know, Cedric Suarez. In fact, Cedric Suarez, right, you're too good to be on the bench, man. You need to go. Bro, he's top 15. It's one of them where you're getting him by default because you're running out of Portuguese players to name now. Like, or I am anyways. I think we're like top 5 in defense too. Seems like a 0-0. It's true, but I would say both teams are susceptible to lapses in concentration. And again, Arteta, we're going to focus on his press conference comments, but he spoke kind of about Tomiyasu. Again, if Tomiyasu isn't fully fit, like Liverpool, don't play him. Lose a battle, potentially. Don't lose the war. We need to keep these players fit, you know, really. I would love Tomiyasu there. I ain't got faith in Cedric Suarez in it, but I'd rather throw Cedric Suarez at right back than put Ben White over there and go with Holding. I just feel with Wolves, we just try and keep the back 5 the same in it as much as it could. And I think we're going to need Ben White bringing the ball out of defense and all those things. I mean, Partey and Xhaka are back, but boy, I mean, Portuguese players been in the Prem for a while, man. It's just, out of all these Portuguese duns, we've got the shittest one, respectfully. Like, bro, we could talk about Neves, Cancelo, the experienced Moutinho, even a young Podence, you know, Jota, definitely, you know. We could talk about all these duns. But I would trade the lot for Cedric in a heartbeat. I don't think the lot's messed, but I don't rate Cedric at all. Like at all, respectfully. You and Ketia, if you don't get opportunities, do your thing. But I just thought that, you know, everyone's got them players at teams. Like, I'll always support them. But in the Arsenal team, there's players that I don't think are good, but I genuinely don't rate Cedric. I don't think you're good at nothing. And Eddie, I'm sure you got qualities, but if this is meant to be the Arsenal striker, this is a joke thing, respectfully. Wolves are really well organized. We're gonna have to turn up from the first whistle, and that scares me, broski, Cam, because any team that's half organized against us, which Wolves are better than that, has half a chance. You know, be a stubborn defensive unit, low block at times. You know, clear your lines. We're not gonna break you down like that. Saint Maximin, once his end product improves, he's not looking back, man. But it sent Ainsley make the Nas better than him 100%. Bro, Cedric's getting booked again. Bro, we're forgetting. I swear Cedric was looking shaky against Sunderland and that in the cup. Respectfully, Cedric. At the end of the day, my opinion is my opinion. The Arsenal manager thinks you're good. You play for Arsenal Football Club, so my opinion's irrelevant. But just as an honest fan, yeah, man, I just don't rate Donny in it, really. It's hard to rate Donny. Like, I know he don't rate himself in his heart, man. Like, there's no way you can look at yourself and think I'm good. But saying that, Atletico allegedly wants you. So do your thing. Why not? Why not, man? Eddie's young, man. He'll get better. But right now, Arsenal don't need that. And from what I see, I just don't rate you like that. You know, I've said it before. He's 22. You shouldn't cast a man off. He can go and have a decent career. But right now, what Arsenal need to do, you can't help us. You know, the next 3 years are crucial. I don't want to see you for 3 years knowing that you can't do it. If you sign a new deal, you're part of the squad. Fair play, do your thing. But man can't be ever in a million years considering you being the starting lineup. If something happens to Lacazette, it has to be Martinelli up front. Explore Pepe as a false nine. Everything else is rubbed, in my opinion. But we're in dangerous territory, man. Pepe seems to play better with Cedric. Ooh, I'm not too sure about that. Hit and miss. I see what you mean. He goes forward in that. But, nah, man. Charles, they saw that Sunderland match and said, you know what, Matty Cash, you international footballer, Poland capped you. Say nothing. We'll grab you in the summer still. Let's look at some rumors that are going. Well, I say rumors, just some talking points would be, you know, made sure I got some articles for us. In relation to Zuma, obviously, David Moyes, Kurt Zuma starting in West Ham's match against Watford, not impacted by cap video. David Moyes, I'm not saying he don't care about the cap, but man, trying to get top four. He ain't, or whatever they're doing, they ain't got time for that. So yeah, man. And he said he started because he's one of our better players. As you know, mad thing happened with the cap. I'm not going to keep going over the same things. I just want to see specifically what Moyes said. No, because he's one of our better players, but it's certainly ongoing and the club are dealing with it. So that's a separate matter. And he said, I'm a big animal lover. He said, yes, he'll remain available. The club will sort out the rest of it. I look after the footballing side. Moyes showing his experience. I am really disappointed, and the club have taken all the action they can at the moment behind the scenes. My job is to pick the best team, and Kurt was part of that. I'm a big animal lover, and it's something that will have affected a lot of people. I was completely disappointed with what I saw and what I was told, but my job is to try and find a way to get a win for West Ham. Some people will be disappointed, and I understand that. I'm someone who cares a lot about my dog and horses. Must be nice when you got peas to be buying horses and that. The club are dealing with it, as you know. I've already spoken to him, and we'll move on as much as we can. We understand it's not something everyone is pleased about. It's a really poor situation. I mean, everyone will forgive Kurt in a second, in a bit. I know the Watford fans were giving him a lot of stick, but this will blow over, much like many things. Was it the wrong call? My feeling was Kurt's apologized. I understand lots of people won't just accept that, but I had to do my job then, and that was to pick the best team I could. So yeah, he's saying, you know what, one love to the animals, but man, I forget 3 points really. If I'm completely honest, you know. A man, he said, I always felt I had to try and separate them and let the club do their side. So I can't lie, it's very experienced from David Moyes. Moyes has said, you know what, brother, I need 3 points. I condemn what he's done, but the board, my job is to win football matches. Whatever happens to Zuma, it's them lot in it. And I think that's where his experience has kind of paid off for Big Moyes. What else has gone on? As you know, United dropped points. We've already spoken about that. We already spoke about St. Maximin and that, and apparently, you know, Frank Lampard has said this will keep coming. We all know St. Maximin is good for dribbles and all those things. If he could just get some more goals and assists, he was magic yesterday. Bobby Dazzler, as I said, people. But I want to see exactly what Lampard said. We will have more nights like this. Hardly inspiring. You know, hardly inspiring if I was an Everton fan. He said he's concerned by Everton's fragile confidence, as it would be. It's been knocked, you know. They've got one win in like 15 or something. They're quite dead. And that win came against Arsenal. As much as confidence shot up at Goodison when players were playing well and believing in themselves and the crowd got together and it was a great feeling, it went down quickly tonight. And that's something we have to solve. The in-game situation where players lose a bit of belief. It may be one of the reasons I'm here, because I've watched a lot of games coming into this job, and the way the team were playing and the feeling of confidence that gave off, that is something that won't change overnight. It changes with work and focus and results. Along the way of getting results, there will be some nights like this, so we must not get too down as a club. And yeah, basically just stick together, really, depending on what you make of that. You know, that's what he's saying, isn't it, really? So, boy, there's that. What else have we got? Apparently, obviously, Rooney's moving a bit mad, man. He said he was putting on studs to go out there and hurt people. Apparently, the FA are gonna investigate. You know, I know he's a manager, so they could do something. But what are they gonna do? FA seeking clarity after Rooney says he wanted to injure players in 2006. And I remember this game. I swear he busted his metatarsal in this game. So, you know, arguably, when you try and hurt people, you clash yourself. I could be wrong. I swear this was 06. Yeah, man, I'm sure you was wearing these boots. You clashed yourself. You know, I don't mind you for trying to kick out racism. You must have known this guy was a pussy from the start. But, I mean, I just think Rooney's just being honest, really. I'm not excusing it, but I'm sure a lot of players probably did this sort of fuckery as well. Defo them United players when Arsenal and United had that rivalry, and we probably did the same to them. For that game, I changed them to big, long metal studs, the maximum length you could have, because I wanted to try and hurt someone, try and injure someone. I knew they were going to win that game. You could feel they were the better team at the time, so I changed my studs. The studs were legal, but thinking if there's a challenge there, I already knew I'd want to go in for it properly. Basically, I did that. John Terry left the stadium on crutches. I left a hole in his foot, and then I signed my shirt to him after the game. A few weeks later, I sent it to him and asked for my stud back. If you look back when they were celebrating, JT got his crutches from that tackle. Boy, Terry laughed it off and whatnot, is where it is. You know, Roy Keane got a fine in 02 after he said he would intentionally try to injure Haaland. So I don't know what will happen to Wayne Rooney, as this is all part of his documentary and whatnot. Harry apparently Antonio Conte is convinced he can make Kane even better, and I'm sure that's what fans want to hear because they want their 28-year-old to stay. He's labelled him world class. He's a great player, but world class. I think if you're not Messi, Neymar, and people of that, I think it's subjective, but top quality, definitely one of the best, if not the best in the league, as an out-and-out number 9. He has a shout for that, really. Do you know what? I don't really care about reading this, really. You know, to be fair, his name dropped Dame Scarlett. I don't care enough about Spurs for that. Just an update. We spoke about it yesterday, people, in relation to Grealish, Kyle Walker, and Mahrez. Apparently, Pep Guardiola defended them. And sometimes this is a good example. And I don't think Pep really does this. Sometimes you can just kind of not make humor, but defend your players. And he's probably saying something privately that's different. Pep Guardiola has played down footage showing Grealish, Walker, and Mahrez on a night out in Manny over the weekend and joked he was only upset they didn't invite him, people. Next time they can invite me. Sorry, I'm so upset because they didn't invite me and I don't like it. Next time they can invite me. The video didn't show exactly what happened. Dinner together, sober, enjoying with their teammates and some backroom stuff. The players know they take risks by going out because today they're social media, but all of them were perfect, but they will be fined because they didn't invite me. And he said if his players have been treated unfairly, he said, yeah, and to be fair, he hasn't done anything really. Pep's not thinking about the long term. As you know, his contract is up in 2023. He said, it's as good as this because we won a lot and we're winning a lot. Of course, I won't be here in front of you guys after 6 seasons, that's for sure. I came because many people I met before convinced me to come here, and after, whether you stay for 1, 2, 3, or 5 years, depending on the result, the results are good. The club and myself are comfortable, and that's why we continue. I still have 1.5 on my contract, years on my contract. It's a lot of time in world football. We've seen how many managers were sacked this season, not just here in England, but everywhere. So that's why I'm just thinking of the next game in the next period. Boy, I'm sure that would, you know, put a bit of nerves over there, depending on what fan, you know, what club you support. Or that might be Exeter United slipped up again. We're not involved in that. Rafinha apparently has spoken about his future, admit interest from Liverpool, Man United, and Chelsea. Rafinha insists he's fully focused on playing for Leeds. And again, his agent's Deco. He's hidden no secret. He probably will be on the move. West Ham did try to buy him. I'd love Arsenal to get involved. Not, you know, it'd be a good signing for Liverpool, but they've just signed one. Mane's been linked with Barcelona and Real Madrid, apparently, people. Be a good signing for United. Did they necessarily need a winger? Maybe, because certain youth shouldn't play football again. You know, I'd love it at Arsenal, but it's a myth. You know, Rafinha's insists he's not distracted by the enormous speculation surrounding his future. He said, I've got a contract until 2024. My head is totally here and I'm focused on Leeds. Right, you say anything else? As for contractual matters, I leave them to my agent and my dad. I just focus on playing my football and making the Leeds fans happy, scoring goals, providing assists and getting victories for the team. And you saw his dirts for Brazil as well. Contractual matters are for my agent. My focus is on making people happy with my football and doing as best as I can for Leeds. Elite clubs, to be fair, you know, it makes sense if Man United want to replace Jadon Sancho already. And again, banter aside, that was the last 2 games from United. I feel sorry for Jadon Sancho because he's finding his feet, and yeah, it's not that it's all counting for nothing, but United are just fucking up the base, pardon my language. You know, Jadon is finding his feet. I enjoy the banter, but I've always said, you know, I don't like the Premier League. You write a man off after 6 months, especially a young guy that's still learning, probably relearning everything about football, having to adapt to the league. I know he's from England, but more or less a foreign player. You know, they writ off Sane after 6 months as well. They writ off Henry after about the same, well, just less than that, really. You know, half of these players, Fabinho, man was saying stuff. I don't think Sancho's got as much pace as I thought either, but you know, he operates well in tight spaces, and you know that should give you a benefit in the Prem. He's probably learning a lot about himself. He's not the finished article, Jadon, so it was always going to happen. In terms of transfer news, should we see what's going on in the BBC's gossip column? Kane is more than happy with Conte, and he wants to stay and he's happy to stay at the club, but has not made a decision on his future. Weird flex, but all right. United have targeted Telemans. Roma to make a new bid for Xhaka. We'll speak about that at 11:30, folks. PSG are interested in Moise Kean. Obviously, he joined Juventus, but they want him. Newcastle are looking at Lloyd Kelly. Spurs want to sign Arturo Vidal. About 10 years too late, isn't it? Luka Modric has suggested he could play until his 40s. Mike Ashley wants to buy Derby County. I mean, Derby County can't catch a break, really and truly. You know, you know, imagine that after all the collapse that they've gone through. You know, Mike Ashley says, "I want to buy your football club, brother." Crazy. Can't catch a break, can they? Kane is 29. He ain't as attractive. To be fair to you, 29. I think Kane can be bagging until he's 32 and whatnot. If he wins the league, if you buy him and he wins the league, why not? How old was Van Persie? I know he wasn't. How old was Van Persie when he went to United? How old was Van Persie when he joined United? And bearing in mind, Kane came into the game late as well. So, at this top level, so you know he might do his thing. How old was he when he joined? He must have been the same age. Yeah, bro. He signed a 4-year deal for United when he went. So I don't think you can look at it like that, really. And how many goals did he bag? Obviously, he won the league with them, so that justified it in itself. And I swear that was the one to pip Liverpool. And he was there for 3 years. Right. Wikipedia says 48 goals in 86 games. Right, he did a mazza. So, yeah, man, I think that would be... It's like Mo Salah, man, are saying he's 28, 29. If you sign him up, I think Salah can do it longer, but he could do it to about 32. That's about 3-4 years now. If Liverpool win a Champions League and a Premier, it's done. Really. Yeah, he was done after 2 years. But I agree with you, but I'm just saying if City or someone wanted Kane and they said, you know what, 2-3 years, we might not... It's not always a longevity thing. If we buy you, you win us the league or whatever, then it's justified, man. Crazy. Yeah, obviously he declined, but he won them a title, broski. And sometimes you got to do that. Kane's ankles are rubbed now, unfortunately. I mean, Kane's got to try and get out of that thing, man. He's got to try and keep it moving. Rafinha is overrated, harsh. Yeah, Mane should go because they ain't going to renew that contract. I can't imagine. I don't know because they, you know, funny enough, we say this and they might. I don't know, but I can't see Mane getting a new deal. Salah getting a new deal. Maybe Mane gets a new deal if they can't come to an agreement with Salah. Obviously, Salah's probably the one they want to do, you know, and then Mane either runs down this deal, gets moved on, whatever. You know, Salah is the slightly better talisman, as harsh as it is for Mane, because he's been a fantastic serviceman. No shame in that. So it's a brazy one, really. It's a tough one. It's a political one, man. And that's the thing with Kane. If he looks after his body, I can't see why he can't play for 3-4 years and impact. You know, his game's not reliant on pace or anything necessarily. But yeah, man, City should try get Son. He's a gem because they'll finally tap into the Asian market and be bigger abroad. Same age as Kane. You know, I don't know why. Respectfully, Son should have got a move time ago, man. Maybe there's a bit of an Asian tax being applied to Son. He's not getting the ratings he should. I don't know. Still not over the Chris Kirkland thing, man. What a see you next Tuesday, man. What a twat. Can you be so silly, bro? Don't forget as well, people, it's a jam-packed day for content. 10:05, I'll be next on Twitch. But also, folks, you know, 11:30, we'll be speaking about Arsenal. Don't forget to be there, people. That's on YouTube. And obviously later on YouTube, Aston Villa versus Leeds. So, yeah, man, make sure you're all there and whatnot. What else is going on in the transfer news? Let's have one last Butchers, people. One last Butchers. Goal.com. Again, where else? I'm fake goal.com site, man. Apparently, Chelsea offer closer to Rudiger's 200k demands. There is some positivity that an agreement can be reached as PSG and Real Madrid retain an interest. Chelsea have offered closer to Rudiger's 200k a week wage demands in another bid to keep him, as the club are not keen to lose too many defenders this summer. They've identified Ronald Araujo as a serious target. The 21-year-old has got 18 months on his own contract at Barcelona. It's crazy. And they remain confident. Apparently, Chelsea remain confident of keeping Azpilicueta, who, when quizzed on his future, he said, "I'm not going to speak about my future. We are one day before the semi-final of a tournament. Of course, I arrived in the summer of 2012. I didn't have kids. My kids were born in London. And you know how I feel about Chelsea, but I'm not going to comment on my future." So obviously, you know, like you said, he's got his family to consider. You know, there's probably a lot. Do I, you know, as a Spaniard, can I really afford to turn down Barcelona, the opportunity to say I played there? Obviously, I'm Mr. Chelsea. I've been a loyal serviceman. I'm comfortable here. My youths are comfortable. My wife is comfortable. There's a lot, really and truly. Apparently, Bayern Munich want Cancelo, but he's considered too expensive, which is crazy. PSG have made Haaland their plan B behind Kylian Mbappe. Man United want Akanji. I mean, I used to rate Akanji. I'm not too sure that would be the right signing to make. Red Bull Salzburg head coach has said Karim Adeyemi could leave. Arsenal, bro, where are you lot? It might well be that he leaves in the summer. I think it's important that as a coach, you have a close connection to your players. I have an open dialogue with Karim. His decision won't surprise me when it's announced. He's not gone yet. In general, of course, I'd like to work longer with my boys, and I always hope so. Another decision is made. But the way we operate is that players can take the next career step when they have developed well. As you know, Leipzig, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, and Liverpool are all interested. So, yeah, is where it is. Gavi's in line for a new deal at Barcelona. Apparently, Marco Rose has given an update on Haaland's future. I'm in contact with Erling every day and also have a feeling for this player and this person. Everything is on the table internally. Everyone is honest with each other. We'll make a decision at some point and the club will prepare well for it. We all want him to stay for sure. Atalanta are in talks allegedly to get Diego Costa as a potential Zapata replacement. Spurs once again are looking at Vidal. Bro. Javier Mascherano is the new Argentina better yet, under 20 coach and has begun work. Ajax wants Sergio Dest back. He's robbed. Modric contract to be settled soon. Roma expected to make new Granit Xhaka approach. Villa fans, Trezeguet has left and joined Istanbul Başakşehir. Forgive me, Turkish fans out there, on loan. Yeah, that's that, man. It seems like a dead day where transfers are thingy. Should we go on tribal football? Big up you lot as well, people. Again, you lot make this stream and this platform and YouTube all it is. If you lot weren't here day in, day out, morning, afternoon, and night, be absolutely no point being here, people. Don't forget, at 11:30, we head over to YouTube, people. In fact, they don't look like there's anything of significance there. Son is 27. I don't think Son's 27. I'll be a mate, but that even more reason to sign Son. I swear he's not 27. 29, yeah, he's 29, same age as Kane. Nah, bro, he's not. He's 29, 30 in July. Just thinking about it, do you think Van Persie joining United is worth losing his legend status at Arsenal, considering he only had one good year at United and isn't really goated for us like that? First thing, how is Robin Van Persie an Arsenal legend? You know, terrific player, technically, scored a good goal against Charlton, done some good things. You know, I would say maybe the first 2 years at United, definitely the first year, and the last 2 years at Arsenal, very good. That for Van Persie, a great 3-year period. But legend, Van Persie's not an Arsenal legend. That he was a great player for us and was the difference between us getting top 4. But that's the first thing wrong in the status, my guy. I mean, Arsenal do twerk for a lot of guys, but you know, Van Persie's not an Arsenal legend. He's someone we persisted with, became a quality player, and we lost. And you know, I rate him. He told us the truth. He said, "You man are not trying to do what I'm trying to do." And to answer the first bit of Van Persie, a bit like with when I see Mane at Liverpool and Salah, bro, dear man, Van Persie, I'm sure he knew about Arsenal for the Dutch times, but he didn't grow up an Arsenal fan. It's a job. Fuck your legendary status that you ain't got. You know, I want to win something. He had the opportunity to play under Arsene Wenger, play for a magnificent club like Arsenal, play for a big club like United, you know, win a league title. So, yeah, bro, all that matters is that. Because you could be a club legend at 27, everybody, or Saka right now, everybody loves him at Arsenal and whatnot. But when you're 34, you will get a hail up, but we just care about the next one. No one's going to care about what you wanted to achieve or not achieve, really, you know? So, yeah, man, it was. I wouldn't say he was ever a legend at Arsenal. And yeah, man, it's a job, you know? How many players can say I think fans get a lot of conversation around trophies, but I think fans really underestimate. Of course, when we're talking about the elite players and at the big clubs, very few players actually win trophies, you know? Especially a Premier League. Job well done. Yeah, we spoke about that. They paid out their victims. We spoke about that yesterday. Bayern Munich surely have to be getting a centre-back after Soleil's taking the unusual step of joining Dortmund, you know, in reverse. Crazy. He's definitely... Adeyemi should be going Dortmund. The right step, and then, you know, he's going to end up somehow at Bayern Munich. Or I'm scared, you know. I think if Adeyemi joins Liverpool, boy. But even if he went to United, you know, Van Persie just not an Arsenal legend. Like, you know, he would have just been a pagan. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think he'll get Christmas cards. He keeps twerking for Arsenal and United in his post-career, and it seems like United and Arsenal don't have time for him. Apparently, his son's meant to be messed. I don't know, though. To be fair, winning trophies, obviously there's a correlation between being a legend and winning stuff, but I just think football fans, trophies are only relevant when it's relevant, because some, you know, for everyone that says you can't be a legend with trophies, when it's a flip side of the debate for a player, they'll sit there and say you can't just look at trophies. It's a collective game. I do think you can be a club legend or a legend without trophies, but there is a correlation, especially where there is winning stuff. Bro, trophies, I've always been... Well, I'm an Arsenal fan. My heart bleeds red. I know. You see what I did there? If I had the opportunity at one day, if Arsenal couldn't match my ambition and I could go somewhere to win, bro, I'm going. Like, bro, what? Because like I said, when you're 34, you'll get a handshake. Some legends don't even get testimonials and that. Crazy. Yeah, we're going to speak about that at 11:30, man. Yeah, that's cool, bro. You lot stress out Ferguson, bro. He's pulling him out of his bro. You man took Ferguson out of his retirement home to twerk for Jude Bellingham. Bellingham said no. You took him all the way up to Burnley yesterday to do that, bro. Leave Granddad Fergie in the retirement home. Let him cool off with his red wine and horses and stuff like Wenger always says he's on. Man said he felt more wanted at Dortmund. To be fair, you're never gonna feel mad wanted at Bayern Munich like that, but. Man, it sound like a Bedino. They pay more attention to me. They care about me. Dead. Eddie was overrated, same as Gilberto Silva. Respectfully, I don't know how old you are. If you're, you know, no one said Gilberto Silva is world class, but if you think Gilberto Silva is overrated, I don't think you know what you're talking about. From his partnership with Vieira to his partnership with Cesc Fabregas, Eddie was okay, but Eddie weren't rated like that. It weren't messed like that. So I don't know how old you are to even be saying that, really. You know. Well, I mean, Will Todd won the trip. Well, you know, helped us win the league at Old Trafford, of course. But if you didn't grow up in England, If you didn't have no emotional attachment, not just to Arsenal, but any club, there's no need to force it. It's like with Salah and Mane. I'm seeing some Liverpool fans get vexed at Mane because he said, I've won some trophies, but this is it, bro. Man grew up in Senegal, bro. Before he kicked a ball professionally, man, Senegalese. Liverpool's a job for man. Man can come to love the club and that, but it's not like they come from a long family of whatever fans and whatnot. And I know fans, we get emotional, we get tribal, but man need to see football for what it is. Even if you love a football club, you need to keep it moving. Grealish, I'm sure he will return to Villa before he calls it a day. I'm sure he loves Villa, but at some point, man want to play Champions League, do all of these things. Villa can't match that. Simple as that. Like these things are these things are self-explanatory kind of thing. If I'm completely honest with you. Crazy ones nonetheless, but yeah, man. What makes a club legend / Arsenal talk? Well, I wasn't vexed when Van Persie went to United beyond the obvious, because I like the fact that, bro, man said, I respect honesty. I'm vexed at the club because you could have sold him to Juventus, but man had an opportunity to join man that are winning leagues, win a league, play under Ferguson, join the team that wants to win. Them man don't want to win. You know, didn't put a gun to your head to accept the bid. Do your thing. I can't be vexed at you. You're just nothing personal, it's just business. Oh. Bro, some wild shouts, man. I don't know who. How can Van Persie be an Arsenal legend, bro? Like, man, don't know what legend is. Bro, that's it. Eddie was a side man, but overrated, bro. Man, I'm making some mad shouts, bro. Mad shouts, bro. You don't need to be that great. No one said they were great, but overrated. Definitely, Edu, nobody has ever said that, you know. Nobody's ever said that about Edu. Gilberto Silva was calm, weren't world class, was a good player. I don't think he was watching him. And definitely not from an Arsenal perspective to be saying that. Like I said, big reason as to why Cesc was able to excel. Arguably, there's a lot of talk about Vieira, and Vieira's clear of Gilberto, but we ain't even replaced little old Gilberto Silva, really. No, Van Persie's just not an Arsenal legend. It's just, there's no way you can even. Listen, Kay, I know you're doing the banter thing, but there's no way you can convince me that Van Persie's an Arsenal legend. There's guys that have done more for him. I don't even think Aaron Ramsey's an Arsenal legend, and I'm saying that for a man that's won trophies for this football club. I think he's a fan favorite. Are you an Arsenal fan or whatnot? But you're not making sense. I'm gonna allow you, man, and let's not get at Ray Parlour's personal life. It's a bit. Bit unneeded, really and truly. And he's Brazilian. I mean, it's okay to say you didn't watch him, Like, I guarantee you were born in 2005 or 2006. Respectfully. Cashley Cole, I can't lie. He's a legend to me. I can't lie, even though being a pagan is one of my favorite players. He's a pagan. And again, Arsenal didn't pay a man what he's worth. Went to Chelsea, won stuff. But still, Ashley Cole. Bro, do you know how much? Let's be real. Do you know how much average players are legends for Arsenal, United, Chelsea, Liverpool, etc.? It's not always a mad talisman, There's so much meaty players. Retired and what done what though? Like, I hear that, my guy, but Gilberto Silva, we don't play around that. I mean, I don't think legend for what? If he would have scored and whatnot, bro, Fletcher was a baller still. Like, Fletcher weren't amazing, but Fletcher was one of them, man, like Jason Park, coming for the big games. But this legend talk, it's like it coming like world class. Them things there just thrown around way too easily. I got to side with that. If you win the league or Champions League pinnacle, then you're classed a legend. And I don't think you necessarily have to win. I think it's a collective game, innit? It's not like boxing, It's a collective game. Your team might do rubbed things and you never win. So I don't necessarily think you have to win a trophy to be a legend. It's just, for me at Arsenal, bro, if you're not doing the Henry things, forget it. The fact that he won titles, the talismanship, the statistics in terms of goal scoring and that for this football club. If you're not Henry, if you're not Vieira, if you're not Bergkamp, if you're not these man, you're not a legend. You can get your hail ups and that. You're not a legend. Bro, Bobby Perez as well. Are you mad? Wes Brown did his thing. Used to, another one. Bro, man, used to gas him. You don't have to be lit to be that. But yeah, man, appreciate the humor. Now that I see the angle, I'm seeing it, man. Ooh, them man there, it's all cult hero stuff, man. It's all cult hero stuff. It's all cult hero stuff, man. Being a legend can't always be winning titles, though. I can't lie. Football's bigger than that. Like, there's certain, certain men haven't got certain quality players don't have the most illustrious of careers. I do think trophies and that makes it a thing, but yeah, man. Nah, how can he? I can't lie. He can't be above Aubameyang. He can be a better player than Aubameyang, but he helped us get top 4, or someone that helped us bring trophies. Better player than Aubameyang. Both fan cult heroes. Definitely not a bigger Arsenal cult hero than Aubameyang. I can't lie to you. I don't even think Van Persie for me is a bigger cult hero than Santi Cazorla, really and truly. Again, have to remove the emotional. I mean, if we won in 06, Senderos would be held in higher regards because we would have won stuff. If you had a pussy, you'd be a girl. How can I be bitter? All I'm doing is gassing Van Persie. Like, I'm actually defending Van Persie. How can I be bitter? Like, I hate when people do that. You're moving like the girls. What's that term they always use? Gaslighting. Again, this is when I'm getting out of it. Man are telling me I hate Van Persie. Bro, man are saying if Van Persie was part of the Invincibles, if Senderos won in 06, he'd be part of it. What if fucking Pascal Silgad's part of that thing? Come on now, man are getting silly, man. Van Persie's given a lot to football, but fuck it hell, bro. Club legend, don't try and twang me. Like, because I'm not accepting bullshit, that means I'm bitter. Come on now. Allow me, man. Man are just chatty shit, man. Bro, man are just chatting nonsense, fam. Like, come on, man. How old are some of you, bro? Man said Andre Santos. Less said about him, the better, bro. Ski. They're meaty ones, bro. G, I'll see you at 11:30. We're getting into silly season, man. I'm told I'm bitter. Ask me, you lot are yatties, man. Some of you on your period things. You can't, you lot can't drip feed me to lie to you lot. Like, I'm not gonna cap to you lot. If you had wheels, you'd be a bite, bro. You get it? If some of you were sexier, your baby mamas wouldn't be looking at me and the panties are getting wet. But we're getting into silly season. On a serious note, people, content, more content. First things first, I appreciate you lot for tuning in. But I want to get a little bit of breakfast. I go live at 11:30 on YouTube. 10 past 5 on Twitch. Just a little Wolves preview thing. And 7:30 we'll be doing Aston Villa. Pardon me, Leeds United. So content. I'm getting a new Avi for 11:30. Don't think I didn't say. As soon as United started rubbing out, you changed up your thing and you got Neymar on YouTube. You shameless twat. Do you know what? You got Neymar in it. Man did this on an empty stomach. Not really an empty stomach, but yeah, man. Obviously, I wouldn't say the tank is full in it, but I do it for you guys. And again, on a serious note, without you lot, it's dead, man. Like, you lot support the thing and whatnot. Without you lot, it'd be dead on Twitch, innit? So yeah, big up you lot and whatnot. I'm out, man. Take that fucking Vlahovic thing off as well, you pussy old man. I've held that one in for too long, man, you dickhead. Anyways, away from that, safe you lot.
There's always just that active red flag defenders. I think it's like